What's up, Eagle family? Thanks for tapping in. Today I'm going to be telling y'all about the top 5 high theft departments. And when it comes to these top 5 high theft departments that I'm about to tell you about, if not all of them is on your theft report list, then at least one of them will be. I promise you that. So let's go ahead. Let's hop into this top 5. So going into our number 5 will be domestics. And I choose domestics because we have a lot of expensive sheet sets over there. We have comforters over there. And everybody love to steal domestics when it comes to booster activity. So the number one thing you want to remember when you are trying to catch shoplifters and domestics is that they will utilize those comforters to hide additional merchandise, whatever it may be, electronics, it could be stationery, it could be clothing, baby department, shit like that, infant department. So that's why it is very important that our cashiers is checking inside those comforter sets to be sure that there's not anything else hiding underneath or in between those comforters. There's been plenty of times where I've made apprehensions on the comforter and they've ticket switched on the comforter, but then when my nigga senses begin to tingle and something tell me to check inside the comforter, I done found about $200 worth of merchandise stuffed inside of that comforter on top of them ticket switching on the comforter itself. So you have two forms of theft, under ticket switching and concealing. You feel what I'm saying? So when it comes to domestics, you want to be on the lookout for booster activity. You want to make sure that everything is being rung up properly if you're watching them at self-checkout, because ticket switching is a huge thing when it comes to domestics. I don't care if you're at Walmart, you're at Target, especially Target, because everything in that store is expensive. So I can see why people steal from Target a lot, because everything in there is expensive for no reason. So going into our number 4 will be soft lines. You understand? Like, soft lines has always been an issue, always will be an issue, because there's such a high demand for everything in soft lines: clothes, socks, drawers, muscle shirts, work gear, belts, things like that. So when you watching soft lines, like, if you don't have nothing else to do in the store, you can't find nobody, I always like to duck hunt in soft lines. And duck hunt means you just wait for them to come to you. Just act like you shopping around, and I promise you're gonna find somebody that's doing some dirt in soft lines. They always concealing over there. A lot of people love to conceal in soft lines because they feel like they can get away with it. It's more quiet. We have higher shelves and the aisles are quiet, so a lot of them like to turn the corner, hurry up, conceal the merchandise, act like they're looking for something else. When it comes to belts, there is some expensive belts, not that expensive, but as far as the dollar amount goes, you could catch people all day long just putting the belts on and not paying for them. So we don't have to really worry about draws and muscle shirts and t-shirts like that anymore, because it is in lock and glass cages. But that doesn't mean that people aren't stealing everything else. If you know how Walmart set up, they got their features set up to where they got a whole Bronco aisle, they got an Avalanche aisle, they have Nuggets gear. So people that are fans of these teams, and whatever state you in, I'm pretty sure they got the team set up in there too, that these fans, they will come in there and they will steal that stuff. Some people will walk out exposed. They'll put a shirt on, walk right on out. We got lanyards, we got all kind of stuff in soft lines, wallets, all that. So you got to be on it when it comes to soft lines. You feel me? Like, if you cannot find a shoplifter, like I told you, like, sit in soft lines, wait for them to come to you. The other thing about soft lines is that we have fitting rooms. So when it comes to the fitting rooms, people love to utilize the fitting room. So it's very important that you watch and see what people go into the fitting room with. So when they come out, you know what they don't have. You feel me? So what I used to do is I would follow people into the fitting room, not inside the actual fitting room, but to the fitting room, see what they walking in with. Once they left the fitting room, I would go in there right after them and see what I could find as far as evidence, empty packages, tags, things like that, to help me be more confident in making this apprehension. So when it come down to soft lines, fitting rooms are the main go-to when shoplifters want to feel comfortable with really concealing and switching on stuff, is they will utilize the fitting room. Now for us APs, you know the rule. They don't want us, like, once they go into the fitting room, all of our elements are gone. We have to reestablish all elements again. Not I. That's they rules. That's they bullshit. I don't get down like that. If I see them walk into that room, that fitting room with that merchandise, to me, in my head, they still got it. So that's why I go into the fitting room after they leave, because I want to make sure that they still are in possession of that merchandise. And if they haven't ditched it inside of the fitting room, then I know they still got it, period. I don't care what the company talking about. Like, I know, like, it's my ass on the line at the end of the day if I make a bad stop. So I'm going to take that risk, especially if I feel comfortable with it. You know what I mean? So soft lines, those are the things that you need to watch for. Those are things that you can use to help you with that department. All right. So going into our number 3 high theft department, it's going to be HBA. HBA is always a go-to department when it comes to shoplifters, or if it comes to any type of booster activity. There is not one person that could go in there and steal a bunch of HBA and not be able to sell that on the streets. Everybody is always wanting deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes, or shampoo, conditioner, body wash, things like that. So that stuff is a high commodity on the streets. And for half of the price, who ain't gonna take that deal? So when it comes to HBA, if people are selecting multiple items, you know what I'm saying, and then it's the same product, you need to be watching that. Razors, clippers, blow dryers, all that stuff. The females, they love that hair dye. They like to sometimes just take what they need out the hair dye, the dye itself, and then leave the rest of the box. We're not playing that over here. Bring that ass here. So when it comes to HBA, understand that you need to be hitting that department hard. If you got cameras over there, good. But at the end of the day, you need to be on the floor watching this stuff. A lot of this stuff is not locked up. I think some of the clippers, like the high theft or the high ticket merchandise, is, I think, like the expensive clippers and razors and stuff might be locked up or whatever. But in a lot of stores, like, that stuff is still easy accessible. So we need to be making our presence over there all day, every day. You know what I mean? Because like I said, there is not one person on the streets that wouldn't take somebody selling some shampoo, conditioner, toothpaste, and all that for the low. You know what I mean? So I remember one time I had caught a lady. She had a big shoplifting purse, and I mean, that it was empty. I knew she was going in there for something. And she loaded up on shampoo and conditioner of the same brand. It was some Suave, right? And so when I made the apprehension, she cooperated. Because of the dollar amount, I did prosecute. But then when the police got there, they ran her name. Come to find out, she got a nationwide warrant out for her arrest out of Arkansas. Extraditable. Is what it is at the end of the day. You know, like, if you got warrants, why are you gonna come in here trying to steal shit? You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand it. But these are that's just an example of how big HBA is when it comes to shoplifters. Like, these people, they love it. They love it. I know people back in the day that used to sell it to people I know. You know what I mean? So like I've seen some things, so I know some things, you know what I mean? And I'm telling you, HBA is one of them departments that you gotta watch all day, every day. So going into our second high theft department in the store, gonna be cosmetics. I can't stand cosmetics, man. I can't stand watching nobody in cosmetics. Number one, I'm a black man in cosmetics. I stick out like a sore thumb, and it don't look good with me in a woman's section. You know what I mean? Like I'm in a section where I'm trying to watch somebody, and I got the rest of the females looking at me like I'm a pervert. Like it just don't look good. That's why I can't stand that department. So when I follow somebody in cosmetics, I gotta kind of zone it. I gotta play like a zone on it. You know what I mean? I gotta fall back, kind of watch them from a distance. You know what I mean? But a lot of that stuff is small and expensive, and these females got multiple ways of how they get away with some of this small stuff. I've seen them cuff it up their sleeve. I've seen them put it in the big gulp cup, down their shirt, down their pants, and their purses, and their backpacks, like etc. So, you know, when you get boosters, they love to hit cosmetics because females love their makeup. Females love their makeup, their eyelashes, eyeliner, all that bullshit. Like, they love it. So when the booster come, I've seen boosters come and hit the whole department and wipe off shelves. Not just a couple. They come and sweep the whole shelf into the tote and dip out. Real talk. So cosmetics is one of those top departments you must watch. And if you got a female partner, that's going to make your job easier because you can send her in the department to kind of just keep an eye on things while you on the phone with her, you know, from a distance, and you can play it like that. But if you don't have female APs as a partner, then it's going to be rough. You just got to follow them, you know, from a distance. If you at Target, then you can use the PTZs to your advantage. But at the end of the day, my black ass stick out too much in cosmetics, and it don't look good. Y'all see what I be wearing? I be wearing gloves, hoodies, and shit. So I just look suspicious. So cosmetics, top 2, all day, every day. I promise you, it's on your theft report. I promise you, it's on your theft report. I don't care how many yellow tags they put on that shit, man. That ain't stopping nobody from taking the merchandise, because I've walked the floor and I've seen the yellow tag on the merchandise on the floor, but the package, but the merchandise is not inside the package. You feel what I'm saying? They took it out the package and left the rest. You know what I mean? So like, these shoplifters, these boosters have ways of getting what they want. I promise you, if they are that determined, they will figure it out. If you got things in box keepers, guess what? They taking the whole box keeper. They will deal with the box keeper when they get to wherever the hell they going. They'll try to burn it. They'll try to break it. Whatever they try to do to, you know, get the merchandise out the box keeper. So I just feel like when you're dealing with these type of departments, you got to make physical presence on the floor. Physical presence on the floor, because sometimes these cosmetics departments be close to the exit, and all it takes is for somebody to be determined, get in and get out, and they gone with thousands of dollars worth of cosmetics. You feel me? So all my female APs out there, man, hit that department hard. Y'all know, just like I do, that's a tough department. And for us men, bro, you just gonna have to fall back. If you black, stay back and zone the area, because you just gonna stick out like a sore thumb. But then there's other tactics that you can use. You can act like you on the phone with your girlfriend, you know, but still, I just don't feel right in that department. So to our number 1 is gonna be electronics department. Electronics department is always the number 1 for me, because it's electronics. You got all your high theft merchandise in electronics. You got your TVs, Xboxes, PS5s, your Nintendo Switch. You got all the games. You know, you got your DVDs, and, you know, you got your computer accessories and your laptops and things like that. So they've made it easier now in this era to watch that merchandise by putting everything in locking glass cages, like the phone cases, the USB cords, the wall chargers, stuff like that. Back when I was in the game, all that shit was easy, accessible. You could just go pick up which one you wanted and you could go and keep shopping. You know what I mean? So it just made it that much harder. But now they got all that locked up. So you ain't got to worry about that like that no more. But one thing you got to worry about is those TVs. And then you got to be present of the people who are coming in with the intentions on some grimy thinking, you know. And what I mean by that is that some of these shoplifters, these boosters, they have their schemes, they have their tactics on how they're gonna get the merchandise. So they'll go in there, they'll ask an associate to open this for them, like, you know, to get a game, to get an Xbox. And soon as they open that door, they'll push them out the way, they'll grab whatever they want, and they running out the store with it. Fire exit door or the front end. You feel me? So that's one thing that keep me on edge about electronics, you know, is that they have keys. So once they unlock that cage for them, it's it. If they want to act the fool, push them out the way, beat them up, take the merchandise, like, they could do that. So one thing I started implementing in my floor walking is every time somebody in electronics was opening up something for somebody, I would be present. I wouldn't be like all up in their face, but I would be at a distance watching the whole thing go down, watching them take it out for them, watching them take it back up to the electronics register, and them actually paying for it, you know, because I know how people be acting up, and, you know, that's the last thing we want, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to electronics, you always want to watch that stuff. And for a lot of that stuff, a lot of that overstock is stocked in the back. And so as an AP, when you're doing your floor walking, you want to go back there and you want to make sure that the locking glass, or not the locking glass, but the rolling cage is locked up, and the big cage where they keep all the overstocked TVs, laptops and stuff, that's locked up. Because if it ain't, I promise you, one of those internals is going to see that. They're going to go grab them a laptop, Xbox, grab a PS5, and your inventory going to be looking funny. So when they unloading the truck, that rolling cage is supposed to be in camera view. So every time a high theft or a high ticket merchandise come off that truck, it goes into the cage. So the cap team, they like to be funny, and they like to, you know, move my cage around and move it out of camera view. So I would get up out of my seat, because sometimes I would watch them live as they're unloading the truck. And once I seen that rolling cage moving out of camera view, I went back there, I put it back in camera view, and they's like, oh, we need this space for pallets, or we know we need to move something out the truck. Okay, cool. I'm going to stay back here until y'all get done. And then we're going to put it right back into camera view. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a thing or two about being an unloader. I've done this for a long time, so I know the tricks and trade that these shoplifters and these internals will do to try to get things off the truck. You know what I mean? Not shoplifters, but internals. I know what they'll do to try to get things off the truck. You know, I done seen it all. You feel me? I've been there, done that. I done seen it all. So there ain't nothing that's gonna get by me. You can't catch everything, but you know, we like to deter a lot of their thinking. You know, the thought crossed your mind until I walked back there. Now the thought is gone, because I'm shutting it down. So electronics, big department to watch, huge department to watch, especially when it comes to the TVs. Sometimes the stores will have the TVs tethered together, but a lot of stores don't, which means there's still a risk that a shoplifter or a booster will walk out with a few TVs with the spider wrap still on it. If they can't get it off, they'll just cut it off. There's been cases where I found spider wrap all over the store. The alarm will be going off. I find it, it's cut off. We don't know what that spider wrap came off of. We don't know if it came off of a TV. We don't know if it came off something in sporting goods. Nothing. You know what I mean? So it's important that you walk the floor, you be present. All right, understand the game. But those are the top 5 high theft departments in the store. If not all of them is on your theft report, I promise you one of them will be. One of them is. You feel me? So all my APAs, happy hunting. Thanks to the Eagle family for tapping in. It's your boy Eagle Eye Miller. Till next time, raw and unscripted.